Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel for the next installment in our ongoing new figure showcase series, where I'll be taking a look at a new release I'm adding into the collection. For today's installment, we're going to take a look at one of the newest releases from Easy and Simple, which is their latest United States Marine Corps figure, from what they're labeling as the 13th Marine Expeditionary Unit, the Maritime Raid Force. Now, I'm not sure how accurate this description is, so I'm going to depend on some of you to kind of inform me and educate me a little bit on that. In particular, I'm paying attention to you, Tony Marine, so I'm going to give you a little shout out to let me know what you think on this one. So, look, when it comes to military releases, it really is an interesting subset of the 6-scale collecting world. You could really potentially dedicate your entire collection to just these figures, especially given the quantity of releases that you're getting. And even historically, companies like Hot Toys got their start with these. So looking just back at that, it does feel like Easy and Simple has stepped in to fill a lot of the void there left by some of these companies, and they're just cranking out release after release that are pretty solid. For me, I just have to assess on a case-by-case basis which pieces I want, and when this one got announced, I just had to have it. It just looked like a standout piece. So no more preamble, let's just jump right into things and look at the full set of accessories and kit that we're getting here. And just like with most of these, you do get a lot of components ranging from rifle elements to pieces for the helmet, but this one in particular is not as heavy as some of the recent releases I've been looking at, like the Easy and Simple Air Force controller or the Damn Toys SCP figure, which was almost a little bit overloaded. So at least I'm not feeling as stressed about assembling the kit together. And there do seem to be some extra pieces being included that didn't necessarily show up in the promotional shots, like the med pouch. But just so you all know, as you're getting into these, there is still a little assembly required. Although I personally feel like it does pay off at the end with some of the most beautiful 6-scale pieces you'll have in your collection. But it's just something to be prepared for when you're trying to tackle one of these, because it does require assembly and patience. Now, you'll also notice that this one, with these figures, you typically don't get a lot of spare hands. This one does have 2 alternate gloved hands, and there are some bare hands in the package and bare feet, but I'm not showing them here as I really don't have any intention of using them. So let's jump right into accessories, and we're going to start with the rifle. And as always, these are amazing pieces of 6-scale engineering. So much detail is contained in these relatively small elements. Here, the rifle, for example, is stamped with the HK logo and has a functioning action of retractable stock. You'll also get some items to mount on the rifle, including a sight, a PEQ, which I'm mounting correctly this time, which I got wrong last time, to my own embarrassment. They also come with their own mounting rails. There's a flashlight attachment, a handguard, and a suppressor, as well as additional magazines. The magazines have a nice distinctive tan with a color with the clear opening showcasing the ammo within. Now, fully assembled, it's just another really awesome looking piece. While not as heavy on the optics as other rifles we've seen previously, it's still a unique setup that looks awesome, especially when you add in some of the guards and covers for the rails on either of the side of the rifle, giving it a nice dual color scheme. The other nice thing here, this was one of the first Easy and Simple rifles I put together that didn't require glue dots. Sometimes some of the rail mounted pieces feel a little loose on the rifles and tend to slide off. Here I didn't have that happen at all. Everything just fits together snugly. Next up in the weapon category, we have the standard SIG sidearm with a nice unique color scheme, and it also does include an extended magazine. It's another stunning example of fitting a ton of detail on a really small accessory, including that spring-loaded functioning slide with the stamped-in SIG logo and pistol designation on the tip. You also get some spare clips that fit in pouches and a nice clean-looking drop-down leg holster. And you also get this small knife and a hard sheath for it, so again, really solid pieces. Next up is the helmet, and I had this separate just because putting the helmet together is a task unto itself. Here we're seeing a nice tan piece with matching radio gear that slides onto the helmet's side mounts. You also get some Velcro pieces that you have to paste down on top of the helmet itself that holds some patches, as well as some pieces for other components like the battery pack for the MVGs. The other piece here that really stands out is that night vision system. I've gotten so used with the past few releases with the quad MVGs that getting this dual system is a nice alternate. Other interesting thing here with the helmet, the side rails aren't hard plastic this time. I've had issues in particular with the Ghost figure with the hard rails where a little difficult to get the pieces onto. Here they're a more rubber feeling piece, and getting the comm gear and other accessories onto the tracks felt a little easier. And I'm also including the set of sunglasses that are being included here with the set. They look okay, The lenses are actually a little opaque, which is cool, but the glasses feel a little oversized. So now normally I'd show you a bunch of clips of the unassembled gear so you can see the transformation to the completed kit, but I actually ended up just starting putting the things together, and by the time I realized I hadn't recorded that, I figured I'd just show you all the pieces fully assembled. So out of the box, the figure comes with the vest on. I just had to remove it and basically connect the small chest screen onto the front, as well as the ammo pack. Now the ammo pack came as a standalone, so you do have to remove the extra straps from it and then clip it onto the vest. The clips are a little tight, so that was a little tough, but it just provides for a very clean looking look, especially with the radio hanging directly underneath. And then on the back you have items like the antenna and just some lights as well. So not hard to put together, which was actually a welcome reprieve. Actually, the biggest pain was the belt, which includes 2 pistol clip pouches, an additional rifle magazine pouch, as well as some other gear, including an oxygen tank with a rebreather. Backpack is pretty much already set up for you out of the box. So what you see here is essentially the full kit that's going to go on the figure, from the belt, the utility vest, the backpack, the helmet, and the rifle, and if you want, the sunglasses. Now let's look at the figure itself, and really quick we'll take a look at the sculpt, because for this one it will be a little bit more evident than other releases. It's not bad overall. Sometimes these are based on real people, like the Air Force controller, for example, looked like Sebastian Stan. So for this one, I'm not sure who it's supposed to be. The eyes do look a little off on it, but I'm not sure if that was deliberate. Again, just not bad. Now, a couple of nice details that immediately stood out. It's the nice patches that you get that you can actually swap out, and you can put them directly on the arms. For me, I ended up putting my favorite, which is the US flag on the arm. I just love the detail that was put into those. It looks pristine. It really does look amazing. And with some of the special forces guys, it's always the kind of green or muted one, so having kind of the brighter element here is nice. The other detail I love is the boots, where you have that Marine Corps insignia stamped on the heel. It just looks awesome and really impressive. Now, Damn Toys had put up a few Marines for pre-order that unfortunately looks like they got canceled, which is a shame because I would have loved to compare both versions just to see how they look together, but this one still has a ton of great detail. Now, the base uniform itself also looks amazing and is just great tailoring, and I thought it was worth looking at without having the gear on, just because one, it's great work, and it also has a lot of great details, from the pockets, the Velcro. On the pants you got the nice dark brown spots on the knees, and then you have the knee guards themselves, and so on, right? And what you can see, and I was hoping to get a shot, and unfortunately I don't think I was able to do that, was that ghosted in with the rest of the camo pattern, you do have some USMC insignias, which is, I believe, an accurate detail, and it's just awesome, right, to see in person. But look, ultimately, these figures come to life fully geared up, and I do think he looks amazing. After dealing with the Damn Toys SCP figure that was way too busy, it's almost nice to get a figure here that's a little bit more streamlined, not just from an ease of putting it together, but also from having a really nice clean look. It just really stands out, and the kit fits really great on the piece as well, and just continues that story about how great these figures look fully assembled. It really is, again, and you're probably tired of me saying this at this point, military figures can be some of the best 6-scale figures on the market right now. So it's the one thing, so it's just something I always say. Now, the helmet is solid too, although I always do feel like the headset doesn't always fit perfectly on the figure. It's just the one thing that feels a little annoying, and that I feel like Damn Toys might actually have slightly better quality on. It still looks great, but it's probably the one big issue I have, including the mic. But besides that, I'm a huge fan of the overall appearance. The underlying uniform is amazingly well tailored with a ton of great detail work. The kit is solid feeling, and on this one surprisingly doesn't feel too delicate. Some of the other easy and simple figures I've gotten, I found that the pouches can get loose on, but this one so far just feels solid, probably in large part because of most of the kit is on the belt as opposed to the chest rig. I'm also a big fan of the MVGs here. They look great and are very sleek. And again, that's the story with him. It's just a very sleek, very streamlined piece, probably in line with the unit designation. So look, that was a quick look at a US Marine from the 13th Expeditionary Unit. I think it's another win from Easy and Simple, and continues on the string of great releases that they've had. And at the end of the day, it's just an amazing looking figure that I think anybody would be happy if you have the patience and to deal with all the assembly. But it's hard not to be impressed when you see the completed kit. So Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this one. And as always, if you're enjoying the content, please consider dropping a like, comment, or subscribing. And we'll touch base on the next video.